Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody?
Good.
Good,
Good.
good.
Okay. Shauna, are you getting settled into your office?
I am.
Good.
I still don't know how to make the printer work wirelessly, but I can plug into it, so that will be okay for now.
Nice.
Good. Good. All right. Good to see everybody here. More people here than last time. That's nice. Maybe it's because it's warmer, although we got some snow yesterday up at 1,000 feet, which was interesting. It didn't last very long, but it was really coming down there for a minute.
We had some in Battleground it was not yesterday, but the night before, I believe.
Wow.
Of course, I'm not watching all the time, so.
Well, it seems a little late for snow, but it certainly happened before.
It happened last year, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes, it did. In March, rather late in March. Okay, the big news today, Happy Pi Day, which I think is March 14th. Now, you can take that any way you want. I have my own personal interpretation of it, represented in this picture. But if you want to celebrate mathematics, go ahead. That's up to you. But it's Pi Day on March 14th. Where that one came from, I don't know. But it gives us something to post on social media. And maybe it will spark a conversation.
It's
And
two
what is
types of pie.
pie? So pie is a baked dish like a custard or fruit or something like that. Or it's the circumference of a circle divided by the diameter, which is 3.14. You choose what it means to you. It's a very personal day, I think.
I like pie.
Yes. Does anybody want to talk about pie anymore before?
I do. My favorite pie is cherry. I love cherry pie. It's my absolute favorite.
Okay.
I prefer cupcakes.
Oh,
Okay. Those are round also, so that's good.
right.
And there's a day for that. I have no doubt there's a day for cupcakes.
Oh, it's out there.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's talk real estate.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So here's my message of the 1.5 million agents in the United States. 50% did not do a deal in 2023. So we all know that that's just a basic fact of the industry, although the numbers it's not getting better. That kind of pattern is increasing. It appears that 10% of the 50% that did a deal really dominated the market. So it's concentrating. Listings are concentrating into a 10% of the 1.5 million agents. So a very small percentage of the 1.5 million agents are what we call strong listing agents. And what's really fascinating is that the group, in terms of numbers, keeps shrinking. But the number of listings they keep taking is expanding, which means they're getting better and better at taking listings, a very small group of agents. So as an industry, we're not really performing at a high level on taking listings. I mean, as an industry of 1.5 million agents, the typical agent is not good at taking listings. So we know that. So let's address that. So listings are the name of the game. For those of you that work with buyers, and I know that many of you like to work with buyers, and obviously working with a buyer is exciting. It's an emotional transaction. It's fun to watch them get excited about a home they're buying, but it isn't a way to sustain a long-term career. A long-term career is the business that controls the industry. Listed property is the inventory, and agents need to carve out a portion of that for themselves so they can stay in the business for a long period of time. The majority of agents simply do not prospect. They do not go out and seek these listings and these conversations with these sellers. And when they hear the word prospect, they get angry. So let me ask you a question. If you're sitting in your office 4 to 5 days a week for 3 to 5 hours at a time on your computer, doing whatever it is you do, are you getting a lot of calls from people saying, would you come list my home for sale?
Not enough.
No, I don't think so. Are you getting a lot of calls from people that say, would you show me your property tomorrow? No, they're not. The calls aren't coming in. Are you getting a lot of walk-in traffic into your office? I wish you did, but we know that that's not the case. So they're not coming to you. So how to solve that problem? We have to learn to converse with people on a regular basis. But I'm shy. I'm not used to talking to people. I don't have any sales experience. Okay, I understand that. Those kinds of stories have been told for years and years. And we know that prospecting is a learned skill. And if you learn the skill, you can make prospecting a lot of fun, enjoyable, productive for yourself. It is fun when you get into it. Too many agents take the path of least resistance. You know, I don't like to think about myself as a prospecting person. Yeah. Now, if you look at most of the agents who do list most of the properties, they prospect 2 to 3 hours a day, and then they're going on a listing presentation on a regular basis. So the path of least resistance is, I'm not going to really start prospecting, but I'm willing to hold an open house because that's going to create the level. It's not going to create the level of rejection that, say, calling on an expired listing might. Absolutely it won't. It won't. But you won't have those more aggressive contacts that you're needing to get listings. You're not talking to people with an immediate need like a for sale by owner. The for sale by owner is going to list. Now they might, they might bite you as you approach them, but it's worth it because they have what you need. And finally, most agents of the 1.5 million don't have good basic sales skills. Prospect, present, and close is how we learn to sell. Prospect, present, and close. And yes, we have to add in good lead follow-up. You have to add in pre-qualifying. There's a lot to learn, but you're committed to learning the skills necessary. So you can go out and take 2, 3, 5 listings per month because it's being done all the time. So I hope this message at least moves you to the fact that you can list property if you choose to, and that listing property is the way to stay in the business. So let's take advantage of the new year, what we're expecting to be a great real estate market, and treat your business like a business. Let's look at our production to see what we have in listings. So inventory is down. We all know that. And our inventory is down, and we've just about sold off. So we're down to 20. And later last year, we had 30, 40. Now we're down to 20. And I see they're selling. So that's the exciting news. Sales are up. Closings are up. Kuhn, what have we had in Portland?
We've had a couple closings. We've had one by Michelle Kovalev. It's over $1 million house that she
Yes,
listed.
I noticed that. Thank you. Congratulations, Michelle.
Yeah, congrats to Michelle, as well as Nayef closed another one, this time in Madras.
That's
so
right.
Congrats to those two agents. We have agents Grant Baker and Fei Wu going under contract again, this time with buyers. So,
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening in Portland. Like you said, we just need more listings.
Yeah.
We need more listings.
Yeah.
We need more listings. And remember, only a real estate agent can get a listing. Zillow's not going to get listings. Some of the other disruptors can't get listings. That's the advantage you have with your license, is you can go say, hey, do you want to list your house?
You are your best source of leads.
That's right, by far. And if you go do that, you don't share that with anybody. If you reach out and grab that person by the collar, they're yours, and there's nothing to share.
Mm-hmm.
Shauna, how has it been going there? I saw some closings on your end as well.
Yes, we Taj had a closing this week. That was a listing that sold pretty quickly. And I have a listing that was supposed to go live on Friday, but we sold it. So it's not even gonna really go live. It was coming soon and I actually got a lot of attention on it. So they're supposedly taking an offer. They haven't signed it, but so that's gonna happen, which is awkward. It's awkward to sell a house before it actually goes to the public. It was, I guess you would call it a pocket listing. So
I guess so. Well, they're denied the opportunity of having it on the market to see what they might get. Maybe multiple offers would have come in had they done that.
correct. And I
But then
did
again-
discuss that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got an offer, you got an offer. So,
Yeah, it's full price, and sometimes when a person gets that opportunity to get before competing, they're going to be easy to work with, and that's what these guys really want. They want somebody that's easy to work with. So that's where we're going. And Jennifer, are you still here?
I'm here.
You have one that I thought was closing, but I haven't seen it yet.
Gosh.
Oh.
It's been a rough week over here. Well, we'll start off with the positive. I do have one that's closing on Friday.
Yay.
And that's the Leaning Lady. I don't know if you remember her.
Oh,
the little
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's closing. My house on 18th has been, oh my gosh, so it was supposed to close on Monday, and I get a call on Monday that they're backing out. So was a real frustration for my seller, and that's the third deal on that house to fall through. And so last week I'm sitting in the office and I get a rental application on the house on Rosewood that we've got for rent. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, this name's real familiar. It was the buyer on my 18th listing. And so call the listing agent and I'm like, you want to tell me why your buyer's applying for a rental through me? Anyhow, that one got really interesting. It was a young couple. They drug us along forever. We're supposed to close on Monday. They got in a big fight and said, we're not buying a house together.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's back on the market.
That's
Okay, well, rent them that house. We'll benefit from that.
Well, no, we don't want to rent them a house either. I denied that as well, so.
right.
Oh, yeah, but yes, I have one closing on Friday, so that's
That's
good.
interesting. We've had more than one agent with relationship drama involved in their listings. I know a few of those agents are with us here today. So yeah. Wow.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know that I'll be at the meeting next week, but we have a closing for next week. And I think Shauna's, I don't know if I mentioned her, she has two. One that she would, our listing of hers went pending and she also got a sale. I don't remember if I mentioned that last week, but
Oh, good.
things are getting busy in Washington, I feel.
Right. Okay. And how are things in Idaho?
We had a great week this week so far. There's been two closings on Monday. Jeff closed on his townhome listing and Augie closed on a new CBH home here. I have a deal that's pending right now as well that should close in 2 weeks, a cash deal for $380,000. Lee listed a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, 2.5 bath house, 2360 square feet on a half acre. So it's been a good week so far.
Is that Ray?
That was Lee Lanigan.
Yeah, but I mean the house I think is on Ray. I think it's that one there.
I think it's this one. That's a beautiful house.
Yeah, it really is.
That'll sell.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Oh, and her historic home went pending there next to the college. I saw that beautiful brick.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
Hey.
Jeff closed on his townhome.
Nice.
And then as I mentioned, Augie had a new home, CBH home, And then my lot is pending right now,
Okay.
Nice.
which is 1.29 acres of land.
All right. Good activity. Thanks, everybody. Very good. All right. All right. I have a list of company and office events coming in. Me and Shauna and Nick are packing up. We're going to go to Las Vegas next week. So we'll be there for the week at the Century 21 convention. And we will bring you back some treats. So definitely drop by the office when we get back. I don't know what we'll get, whatever I can swipe from the free table. I'll bring all of that. And we'll bring back a lot of information as well, which is why we're going. A couple of, there's a Mike Ferry event in July at the Venetian. That's his big event. So, you know, consider that. If you've never been to anything like that, you have to experience that to understand it. And I guarantee you will not regret it. It is fantastic information. It's a fantastic experience. Mike Ferry is very unique. He doesn't rise you up euphorically like a Tony Robbins or somebody like that. Believe me, he doesn't do that. But he really makes you think. He really makes you think about what you're doing and what you want to do and what your goals are and what you can do.
And there's a lot of motivated people there.
There are.
I never expected to be as good as it was when I went the first time. So I do look forward to going to those.
Yeah. Okay. Florida experience, July 8th through 10th. If you find yourself in Central Florida and would like an educational experience with Century 21 agents, probably Floridian agents, that's on the list too. And November 8th in Boston is the Realtors Conference and Expo called the NAR NXT. And I have never been to one of those. Those are big events. And so there's a huge networking opportunity. So consider that. And for networking opportunities, I forgot a list. I had a list of where people come from who are moving to Oregon. And as you might imagine, the top states where they come from when they come here is Washington, Idaho, and California, but also Nevada and surprisingly New York. So that's something to consider if you're trying to build a referral business. And if you were at a conference, when Nick and I go, we're going to go seek out agents from those states, from Arizona, Nevada, New York, and see if we can make some connections there and get some business cards.
I actually already have a meetup planned with some people.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Yep.
Okay. All right. How's the market? And I have the market stats here, the most recent market stats for your metro area. So the news today, interest rates creep up, still expected to drop over time in 2024. So that's what's happening. They've crept up to 6.9, which is still not 8 where we had. So it's you'll see it by the chart. The hopes of homeowners desperate for lowering borrowing costs have been dashed yet again. Mortgage rates took an upward jog this week, hitting their highest level in more than 2 months and moving closer to the 7% mark for the most popular loan option. And I certainly hope they don't hit that again. According to the survey, the rate on a 30-year is 6.9. That's an increase of 0.13 and the highest since mid-December. The rate for the 15-year, of course, is up as well at 6.29 for a 15-year. The hikes are linked to recent strong economic news. This is so ironic. And the Federal Reserve's current caution about cutting rates, analysts say. The likelihood that the Fed will delay rate cuts until later this year, along with higher than expected inflation figures, have helped push rates higher than they've been over the past few months. I think it's because the Federal Reserve said they would do some rate cuts in 2024, and now they're not. That's a factor. Tight buying conditions and high financing costs mean that good economic news equates to bad news for home buyers who are sensitive to even minor shifts in affordability. But housing experts are still expecting rates to head downward this year, just not as soon as they once anticipated. Housing sales got off to a strong start early in the year, buoyed by less costly mortgages. After the recent increases, however, the higher rates we're seeing now likely are going to lead more prospective buyers to sit out the market and wait for rates to come. And again, that's her opinion. I don't think so. I think there is still pent-up urgency for people to take some action now. So there's the chart. It's kind of the Big Dipper, it looks like. It's creeping back up. So we'll see what it does. The Consumer Price Index, which is one of the major factors here, that's reported monthly, and it's been sitting at 3.1 all for January. And so we won't know until we won't know for several weeks what that does and if it has any effect. If that were to go down, if that were to get into the twos, that would have the biggest impact of anything. Okay, the absorption rate in the metro area, 3.2 months of inventory for the Portland metro and Vancouver area. That indicates a balanced market, but just barely a balanced market. Because 3.2 just inches in, as you can see in the chart, into the balanced from the sellers. So you might say it's a balanced market that is strongly favoring sellers right now. And the affordability index is 84. And I don't know when they update that. I look every week to see if they've updated it for the fourth quarter, but that's the third quarter of 2023. And a family earning the median income can afford 84% of a mortgage payment on a median priced home. And so that's not a great number. We would hope to see something like 100 or higher, so buyers have more options. Ed Kung, there's a good report from the NAR about existing home sales rebounding in 2024.
Yeah, let's see what they have to say. I think there's some good news mixed in there. January 2024 existing home sales rebound to 4 million. NAR released a summary of existing home sales data showing that January's housing market activity increased 3.1% from the previous month. January's existing home sales reached a seasonally adjusted annual rate of 4 million. And that month's sales of existing homes weakened 1.7% from the previous year of January 2023. So, better by month, but it is down a little from the previous year. The national median existing home price for all housing types reached $379,100 in January, up 5.1% from a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the chart shows that the median sales price of existing home sales went up. In January, all four regions showed price growth from a year ago. The Northeast had the largest gain of 10.1%, and the West increased by 6.3%. January's inventory of unsold listings as of the end of the month was up 2% from last month, standing at a little over 1.1 million homes for sale. Compared with January 2023, inventory levels were up 3.1%. It will take 3 months to move the current level of inventory at the current sales price, and this is below the 6 months that is what we'd like. Inventory conditions continue to be a challenge for potential home buyers. That's why we need more houses on the market, more listings. It takes approximately 36 days for a home to go from listing to a contract in the current housing market. A year ago, it took 33 days. So market times have increased just a tiny little bit.
Right.
And from a year ago, 3 of the 4 regions had declines in sales in January. The West, which is ours, had the only increase of 2.8%. So that's good.
Right.
And compared to December 2023, let's see, 3 of the 4 regions showed increased sales. The Northeast region was flat. The West had the biggest gain of 4.3%, followed by the South and the Midwest. The South led all regions in percentage of national sales, though, accounting for 46% of the total, while the Northeast had the smallest share of 12%. So it looks like most of the sales are still happening in the South.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, would you
Fun.
say everybody chose correctly when they chose the West to work in?
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's been true for so long. Okay, so those are positive numbers. And also it tells us that the West is different than the rest of the country. When bad news comes out, it affects us less. So that's good news.
Yep.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Well, let's just quickly go through here. How is the market in Portland?
We are seeing increasing home prices as interest rates are slowly going up and down. Portland is currently a balanced market due to longer market times. Average days on the market is up to 68 days from 60 days, with 3.2 months of inventory. Median home prices have increased 3.2% over last year to $489. Interest rates are currently 6.9%, are expected to go down slightly over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, but buyers are also benefiting from dropping prices.
Okay, excellent. Shada, how's Clark County?
In Clark County, we are seeing an increase in home prices as interest rates are slowly starting to drop. Oops. I'm looking at the wrong
Yeah,
one. Sorry
that
about
was last week's news.
Southwest Washington continues to be a balanced market due to a shortage of available housing. Average days on market is up to 64 days from 57, with 3.2 months of inventory. Median home prices have increased 3.4% over last year, from $494 to $510,800. Interest rates are currently at 6.9% and are expected to go down slightly over time. It's a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers. There's still a lot of buyers out there, and buyers are benefiting from dropping prices.
Hey, nice. Nice. Jennifer, can you see your screen?
Well, I'm going to do my best here. I'm working off my phone, but we'll go for it.
How's the market?
We are seeing an increase in home prices as interest rates are slowly starting to drop. Cowlitz County is currently a balanced market due to a longer market times and increased prices. Average days on the market is up to 42 days from 30 days. Median home prices have increased 12.4% over last year, from $355 to $399. Interest rates are currently at 6.9 and are expected to go down over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from the dropping interest rates.
All right. Yes. I think the message is they're still dropping. They went up, but they're still dropping, because that's the projection from just about everybody. They will drop this year. Mario, how's the market in Idaho?
Well, here in Canyon County and Ada County in Caldwell, Idaho, we're seeing an increase in home prices as interest rates are slowly starting to drop. Canyon County is currently a buyer's market due to longer market times and increased prices. The average days on the market is up to 47 days from 36 days. The median home prices have increased 6.66% over the last year to $375,000. Interest rates are currently at 6.9% and are expected to go down over time. This is a great time to list while it's still favorable to sellers, and buyers also benefit from dropping interest rates.
Nice. Okay, excellent. All right, we're in a good place. And of course, the message today was that you are a listing agent. And let's look at the training. And everyone in this meeting has had exposure and knows where they can go and knows the resources to polish up your act. as far as getting listings. Tremendous amount of tools that we have for you. So in the training section, just real quick, Accelerate, there is a March 11th through 29th class for Accelerate. And that's an excellent thing to do for new agents or as a refresher. The virtual Go list is a little bit shorter, and it's April 30th to May 21st. So please consider that. And there are some links here to Moxie support and Century 21 social media. So have a look at that. All right, so today we're just going to go through one of these business basics, but let's just for fun, let's see what Tom Ferry has to say about making videos.
If we've never connected before, you probably made the mistake of clicking on one of my ads or maybe saw me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and more. I want you to be clear. There's a reason why I do that. When you look at the studies today, and I'll give you the backstory. When you look at the studies today, here's what you're going to see. There's 4 primary reasons why, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a real estate professional, a team leader, a broker manager, someone in the mortgage business, anybody in a B2B or B2C, like business to consumer environment, should be doing videos. But let's point out the first most obvious one. Today, if I asked you to grab your phone and you looked at any app, what are you going to see more of? The answer is video. Whether you're looking at ESPN, yeah, sure, I'd like to read about the game, but wouldn't you rather see that unbelievable slam dunk on video? The answer is, of course. If I even go to a news site, pick your favorite one, I don't care. You're going to read a little bit, but there's always going to be a video as well. And the reason why is today we are conditioned to get that video. So if you're not providing video, whether it's on your website or in your social media or in your email newsletter, you're missing one of the most important links to connecting with your consumers. Now, there's another real deep reason why you want to do it. We're in the business of trying to get yeses. We want buyers to say yes to our services. We want sellers to say, I choose you versus the competition. We want investors, agent referrals, and so much more. But would you be shocked to hear that today, the most recent stat says 81%, that's a big number, of consumers make their decision after watching a video. 81% of consumers make their decision after watching a video. Let me say that to myself again. 81% of all consumers make a decision about a product, a service, someone they want to work with after watching a video. So what if you have no videos? And I'm not saying you got to go start a YouTube channel and this and that. You just got to have something that you're in the game on. It could be Instagram, it could be Facebook, it could be LinkedIn, it could be YouTube. You could pick any platform, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, something. And before you say, oh my goodness, how do I do all those? Don't worry about it. Pick one. But you got to start doing video. Or you have to be honest with yourself and say, the vast majority of people are simply not going to know who I am. And if I go to your website or I go to your Facebook page or I Google you and a Facebook shows up, an Instagram shows up, another site shows up, if there isn't a video there saying, hi, my name is Tom Ferry and I'm with Banana Real Estate and I specialize in selling homes right here in North Dallas, specifically in city. If there's not something like that, you almost have to ask the question, is that person real? Are they even in business? Now, you and I both know there was a time when agents would actually say, why would I put reviews on Zillow? Why would I put reviews on my Google business page? Today, we know when a consumer goes to a page like that and they see no reviews, you know what they say to themselves? This person doesn't sell any houses. See, we have to stop saying to ourselves, I'm not comfortable. You know, it's not my thing. And we have to say to ourselves, I'm in business and my business is to connect with people, to build my brand, to gain trust, to gain loyalty, and ultimately become the one that they choose. And since 81% of consumers are saying video is the thing that I want, we just simply have to get in the way. It's almost like saying to yourself today, you know what? I'm not going to use the MLS. Of course you're going to use the MLS. And the last thing you would say is, well, I'm just not comfortable with it, or I haven't figured it out. No, if you're going to be in the business, you're going to understand that. I don't know how to use the contracts. No, you're going to figure it out. You're going to do whatever it takes. And it really is that growth mindset that video requires today.
Very good. Very good. Well, I've been saying that too, a little differently than he does. So is he right?
Yes.
I think he's right.
I noticed that he got his dad's bobblehead.
Yeah. No, that was his.
I noticed too. I noticed he has his own. Yeah.
He has his own. Yeah. There may come a time, you never know how things are going to go, but if they don't see a video, they don't think you're in business, and the business will go to people with videos. That certainly could happen. If you would like to do videos and you don't know how to get started, I would recommend KCM, Keeping Current Matters, because they have they have it all packaged up. Shauna, you experienced that. How did that go?
Yeah, it's super easy. They put the words on the screen of your phone, so you basically read it, and it looks like you are, not, it looks like you're talking. It takes practice. Obviously, the more you do it, the better you are at it. I wasn't using it as much as I wanted to, so I'm not paying for it anymore, but you don't really need to pay for it to get the ideas and learn how to do it. They offer a lot of free stuff as well.
They do. And of course, with the scripts that we just practiced would make a good video, and you could put that out on a weekly basis and just develop the skills. Just start doing it. Just read that little elevator speech that we just read. Read it into a camera. You'll hate it. You'll delete it. You'll do it again. You'll hate it. You'll delete it. And you'll find one that's not half bad. So go ahead and post that and see if the world crumbles. It won't.
I had an idea when he was saying that. Why not make a video introducing yourself? We've talked about that before, and then have a link to your Google reviews or your Real Satisfied reviews right there under the video, saying, look at my, no, don't listen to me, read about me here, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you have done some. Kat, you did some really good videos. I hope to see some more of those.
Mhm.
Yes, I need to get on that.
Right?
We loved your videos. More.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun.
I have more ideas. I don't know why I haven't done them yet. It's hard making videos.
It
It
is.
is.
I know. It's got to be a routine, like everything. It's got to be built into the daily schedule somehow.
Yeah,
It's spring. It's the perfect time to do it.
that's true.
Do it with daffodils. Do a flower focused one.
They're blooming soon. Yes.
Yep.
Shauna, what would you like to do? We talked last week about which one of these, and there's some short ones in here.
Well, I think you had negotiating contracts, which is definitely a thing right now.
It certainly is. It certainly is. Yeah, negotiating contracts, number 10. If both parties, you as a listing or selling agent, and the other agent do their job right, negotiating is very simple. Yeah. It's when one party does not do their job right when negotiation becomes difficult. A good listing agent has the property priced right and ready to show. A showing agent provides a CMA to their buyer and brings a solid offer to the table. Good negotiating means that you understand the sales process and the motivation of all parties. See, I love that. That's why I wrote it in blue. Is if everybody is professional, you have a good buyer and a good seller, and everybody's ready to do business.
Yep.
What else is it? What else we have, Shauna?
Well, it says almost every agent considers themselves good at negotiation. Most are not, because they do not have good sales skills. And I feel like the most important part of that is just being patient. Don't rush through everything. Take your time. It's important. This is what they hire you for. This is what they really need you for, is to bring seller and buyer together and agree on things. So that's negotiating, yeah.
That's negotiating. Next is emotion and drama kill negotiating power. Control what you say to the client. Remain the professional, remain the impartial person that you're supposed to be. Remember, it's not your house, it's their house, it's their transaction. You're there to help, not to get just as upset as they do, something I see sometimes.
Right. Yeah, keep your ego out of it. It's like you said, it's not your house. This is not your deal, but it's your job to try to get everybody to agree. Sometimes it doesn't, but you know, that's your job, is you're trying to get everybody to agree. So putting your emotions into it. Like today, I was thinking of something like I wanted to say something back to an agent. Instead, I was thinking, what would I want to hear if I was that person? Probably something positive, just to let them know I'm still working on it, or still trying to get the client to, you know, respond. It's really important to keep your even keel.
That's right. That's right. What's the next one?
Controlled emotions are an asset. Okay, we kind of already said that,
Yeah.
right?
Kind of.
Remember, you are not buying or selling. Yeah, you already said. Remember, you are not part of the negotiation itself, so don't let your commission be dragged into it. Oh, that's a good one. I've got a really good success story.
What's that?
In the Vancouver office. I saw paperwork come across with an agent who had negotiated a very high commission for themselves. This seller wanted just a certain amount. He actually got a lot more, and then included more commission for himself. So that was like remarkable. It's like, why cut your commission or make that part of a deal unless it's a, you know, win for everybody. There's a there's a flip side to that too. If you can get if they're happy to pay you more commission, then why not do it? Don't cut yourself short.
Don't cut yourself short. Absolutely. And it's still, his commission split is not anything unusual. It's what we used to see. It's a number that used to be common, of all things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was pretty proud of him to realize that, you know, I'm worth that amount to the seller. So, you know, if they're willing to pay it, let's go ahead and agree to it. And everybody was happy.
Yeah. And yeah, more to that. It says most agents who present offers are not great agents, the majority of them, and not doing a high volume of business either. Therefore, the commission check is vital to them, and commission should never be part of the process.
Yeah. What do they call that? Commission breath? You can smell it. Oh my gosh.
Right.
We recently had, and you can get that from anyone. It doesn't just have to be the real estate agents. It can be the lenders involved. It can be anyone. And you're just sensing it's like, wait a minute, you know, this is a transaction for the clients. It's not, you've got to, can't be connected to the outcome. And I think that's probably going to be in here somewhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, here's one on a discussion about negotiating. This one might surprise you, but don't be afraid to ask them to accept the transaction as it stands. Remember, you're looking out for the best interest of your client, and you studied your client's motivation, and their motivation is to get to Arizona in the next 30 days. Why are you bickering over $1,000 or $2,000? If they have given you, if you have received a reasonable offer that meets all of that criteria, remind your client that they can just take it and move on. Some people don't get that. They think, no, you have to counter everything. You have to aggressively try to get every dollar. No, you have to do what your client needs.
Yeah. I feel like it's a lot of agents put too much, they try too hard. Like they're worried about things that haven't even happened. So if you get an offer and you don't like something about it, or you're worried what your seller will say, just give it to them and see what they say. It's their decision. I mean, you need to acknowledge that whatever their feelings are, but it's their choice. It takes a lot of pressure off of you once you think about it that way.
That's right.
One step at a time. Don't look at the whole big picture, just one, you know.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, both agents should have the same goal in mind, a signed contract. To find out if the goal is the same, ask all parties a lot of questions. And what's this one?
Call the other agent and ask if all parties are in agreement. This saves time from writing offers and addendums. I love this because
Yeah,
it's like, okay, so a situation is you write an offer and you change the escrow officer. You send it to the other agent and they're excited. You change the escrow officer of what they want. I do that recently a lot because I'm double ending. I'm selling one house and they're buying another. So we want the same escrow officer. 90% of the time they're going to let you do that. But that 10% that they don't want to let you change it, would it be better to sign it around and start going and then have to do an addendum later, or just bring it up? Hey, did you notice I changed the escrow officer and this is why I did it? It's easy. It saves time.
it is easy. So if you want a pro tip from today, this is it. Whenever you're in negotiations, call the other agent and work it out before you start writing and guessing and all of that. And relay your party's concerns, and they will relay their party's concerns, and you can write one sheet of paper, especially with repairs. Well, that should be a conversation. It's like, look, you sent me 100 repairs. My client doesn't want to do 100 repairs. We'll do this, that, and the other. How does that sound? And then write that up. Always write something that you expect them to sign. Don't just throw something out there unless your client has absolutely required it. Always expect they'll sign what you presented.
Yes, I think that if you have good open communication with the other agent, they're gonna understand your responses to things better, and it's just gonna go smoother. If you don't let them know that your client is, works a certain time frame and it's hard for them to respond, or sometimes this is an emotional move for them, so it's going to take a process sometimes to get that response. Just stuff like that. People are people. Makes it easier.
That's right. And what's next?
I don't know.
You see it? Attempt to understand the motivation of both parties.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Attempt to understand, refer back to the buyer or seller's motivation often during the negotiation. We kind of already talked about that too. It's remind them of what they want and when they want it so that they keep moving forward. And I have a client right now who's relying on me just to keep them focused, and they appreciate the fact that they go off on the thing and then they're back. And they know that I know that they're going to do that ahead of time. So, but I keep reminding them. So, this is what we're doing. Keep moving forward and sign that paper so that I can keep going.
It also talks about the motivation of the other party, not your client, but the other party. And there's only one way to learn that, and that's through a conversation with their realtor. And sometimes when there's an issue, you need to have that conversation and then learn what the other party's motivation is. That will help you.
Yeah. And if you're talking to an agent, why not call that lender too and find out more about that buyer through the lender? Sometimes agents want the sale more than their client. That's happened before too. So call the lender and talk to the lender about that buyer as well. Usually you can get some more information.
Yeah. And then finally on that theme, this is a great This is a great statement. Motivation is always the answer to the problem. And that's obvious when you think about it. That is, and so you have to understand the motivation.
Yeah, if they're not motivated, you're probably not gonna get them to accept an offer. We did close one like that here in Vancouver recently where it was tough. The seller wasn't all that motivated, but we did get it. It's hard sometimes.
Okay, Shauna, read through these last ones. There's a lot of pointers here.
Okay, it's not about you. Work for your clients. Do your negotiating via fax and phone. Don't spend your time running around trying to see everybody. Yeah, you can. Oh, and then you can also just do an email that includes everybody. Sometimes that works quickly too. Have your staff do it for you if you have one.
Right.
Ego, remove the thought, don't these people know who I am? Yeah, no.
Yeah, they
that's
do
not
and they
gonna
don't
happen.
care.
Yeah. Don't burn your bridges with the buyer, seller, or other agent because that deal may come back together. Oh boy. Yeah, don't burn bridges ever for any reason. That's just not good.
Yeah.
Deals regular come back together, and that's true. We can't win every transaction that we are involved in, but so don't be attached to the outcome. And that's always going to make your life easier too. Make a great professional presentation. If
Nice.
it's not successful, move on to the next, I like to say.
Yeah. Okay. And so the blog for this meeting is posted on C21 Brokers, and you can refer to all this information and the entire 21-step sales process. So get out there and take a listing. If you don't, especially if you don't have a listing right now, you should have a listing and print it out, tape it to the wall in your home office and look at it and go, well, there's my inventory. One. Well, that's a great start. That's a great start. I have one. And when it sells, of course, I'll need to replace it so that when it sells, I still have something on the wall. But you always want to have something on the wall, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 5. That would be great. Imagine always having 5 listings on the wall. What that would look like to the bottom line. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you coming. Have a great week, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
You.
See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.